In this video, we're going to take a look at change requests, which are one of the three main change objects that you have inside of Windchill PDMLink. Those are problem reports, change requests, and change notices. But before we do that, let's talk about the different roles that are involved in change management. And I'm going to use the roles that are available out of the box as you install Windchill. And the first is the Change Admin 1. The Change Admin 1 is the person who analyzes and processes problem reports, and they can create change requests from those problem reports and then analyze them to determine their disposition. Now, be aware, in many organizations, change admin 1s aren't the only people who can create change requests, but they can create change requests from the problem report. And I'll show you how to do that in the demonstration portion of this. I think it's a good idea that you have a lot of people able to create change requests. This isn't something that should be restricted to a small group of people. And so the change admin 1 will also analyze the change request. They might send it back for more information. They might reject it. Sometimes they'll approve it, and they can approve it either on a fast track process or a full track process. A lot of times things require a full track process because they are very expensive or they involve a lot of work. And if you do a full track change request, then you're going to have something called a change review board involved in determining the disposition of that particular change request. Then you have the Change Admin 2, and the Change Admin 2 can create change notices and change tasks. And again, if it's going through a full track process, then you're going to have a change implementation board that's going to oversee, as the name implies, the implementation of that change notice. And the final role that we'll discuss here is the Change Admin 3. And so if a process goes through the if a request goes through the change management process and it goes through a change notice, all the tasks are then completed and they are reviewed. The final step is for the Change Admin 3, who will audit the change notice to make sure that everything has been completed, and when they sign off on it, that closes the loop of the change management process. So now let's take a look at analyzing a problem report and then creating a change request from it. And we'll also take a look at the other couple methods of creating change requests. All right, here I am in Windchill. I am on my home page, and I see that I have a task assigned to me to analyze a problem report. Here's the problem report if I want to jump right to it and review it, but I'm going to go to the task to analyze it. I've been given this task because I am a change admin 1. In addition to being a change admin 2 and 3. So here I am on the task, and here it gives me the instructions for completing this. And I can read through here, and it's got the information that the person wrote in the problem report. We can see that we have attachments in here. And here underneath process status, we can see all the other change admin 1s that this task was routed to. Went to quite a few people. And let's say I decide that I'm going to take charge of it. I can go to the Actions menu and choose to accept this task, and that way it'll remove it from all the other people that it has been assigned to. So I will accept the task over here, and it says it was successfully accepted. And then going through here, you'll see that now I'm the only person listed underneath process status. All the other people were taken away from it. So typically what you would do at this stage is that you would research the problem report. Again, you can click on the link over here. You can read through the issue and say, okay, what's going on over here? It's just like, oh, this person requested this. Here's the affected objects, affected end items, so forth and so on. And then let's go back. So for example, we've got the process tab over here. And if I go to this table over here, here are the tasks for the change process. Right now, it is still in the analyze stage. Let me click back on it to get to it. And so, scrolling down over here, these are the default routing options that we have for the problem report. You can confirm it, You can say it's not verified. That does happen. Sometimes someone will report something and you just can't duplicate it, not reproducible. Sometimes you decide that you won't do something. Sometimes you might get the same problem report from multiple different people, so you might report it as a duplicate or send it back for further clarification. Sometimes people write the problem reports and you just don't understand what they're saying. But in this particular situation, let's say I confirm it. You can write other additional comments on this, like, for example, we'll create change request. And then we can complete the task over here. And so now we're back on the problem report page. It takes us automatically to there. Let me go to the details tab over here. So the problem report has been confirmed as a change admin 1. From the problem report, I can create a change request now. And a change request is just like it sounds. We have a problem report, and we're saying, yes, this is indeed a problem. Now we're going to request that a change be made. And just because you request a change doesn't mean that it's going to happen. There could be a situation where it's just not worth doing the change, or because of schedule or how many of these artifacts that you're going to produce in the future, it might not be worth implementing the change, but you can still request the change. And from the Actions drop-down menu here on the problem report, we can choose New and then New Change Request. And that'll bring up a dialog box over here. And one of the advantages of creating the change request from the problem report is that you have this checkbox to propagate information, which will take the information from the problem report and fill it in the form. Let me make this a little bit bigger over here so I can choose propagate information. And so it fills in here the same name of it, same category, priority, need date. Here's the information that was typed in there. And so it'll save you a lot of work. And one thing to be aware of is that you can have an n from 1 and 1 from n relationship between problem reports and change requests. So for example, you might have multiple problem reports that have been submitted, and you might combine them all together into a single change request. Another situation that can happen is that you can have a single problem report that can result in multiple change requests. For example, I remember one time we had a tech who identified an issue, and we're like, oh wow, that was really good that he identified that. And we realized that it affected multiple different production lines, multiple different systems. It didn't make sense to make a single change request to cover everything. We made a change request for each product line that it affected. So anyhow, let's go through the form that we have over here. Right now we're on the set attributes, and so that's where you fill in the information about it. If you already know a proposed solution, you can write it inside of here, add information about recurring cost or non-recurring cost. But all the required information has been filled out, which you can see is just the name of the request. Let's click the next button. And then if you know which end items are affected, you can add it to the list over here. Again, this is not required. Let's click on the next button. So here we have the affected objects. So we have an assembly over here. You can add additional objects in here. So for example, I can select it and then use the collect affected objects icon, and it'll go in here and it's going to list a whole bunch of all the other different dependents of that particular object. Maybe I want to add in a couple of WT parts here. So there's a harness involved. Let me grab those over there. And so let me sort by the number. And we've got all the different objects listed in here. Maybe there are a whole bunch of components that I don't want in this particular thing. Maybe I'm just trying to get a few of the objects to be added in here. So I'm going to select all and then just deselect the ones that I do want, and then remove the rest of them. Here's where we can remove the selected objects. So these are the objects that I want involved in here. I will click the OK button. Maybe you are also going to have some documents added to the affected objects because they'll be updated. You can basically collect anything that is going to be affected by the change request. Now I will click the next button over here. And you can add in attachments. Again, if you have maybe some analysis reports that confirm the problem, you might want to add them in here. Maybe you want to add in some photographs. And then we'll click the next button over here. So for select associations, since I created this from the problem report, that problem report is listed in here. And like I mentioned, sometimes you have multiple different problem reports that you want to fold into the same request. You can add them into the list over here. And you also have a table where you can add associated reference objects as well. But that's everything that we need to create the change request. The most important thing is when you're creating these change requests, you want to provide enough information so that the change admin 1 will be able to process the change request and hopefully approve it in the way that you want it to be approved. So this is good. I will click the finish button. And now we get this message in here, and you have the option to submit now or submit later. Sometimes there's a lot involved in a change request. It might not be a matter of just filling out a form in a couple minutes. You might need to go back and get additional information, for example, regarding cost, regarding schedule, and you want to add that in there at a later time. If you choose submit later, this will give you a task to submit the change request. If you choose submit now, it'll go on to the next step in the process. Let me choose submit later to show you what happens. So it tells me that the change request was created successfully. Let me close the toaster. I'll go back to my home page, and then here in my task, here I have the change request, and I have a task to submit the change request. That way I can go back in here and I can edit the change request and add in additional information that I need to. And then when I'm finished, I can actually complete the task, and that'll kick off the next step in the process. Let me give this a moment. Let me try refreshing. So now I have this task here to analyze the change request, because again, I am a change admin 1. So now this goes back to all the different change admin 1s to evaluate the change request and then choose the disposition of it. So again, you can clarify it, send it back for more information, reassign it to someone else. You can outright reject it, say that we're not going to do it, or you can put it into a review process. And here are the two main choices to go forward. You could fast track this, and it's recommended that, I believe the rule of thumb is that at least 85% of change requests should go through a fast track process. But again, for the ones that have a huge impact, you might want to go through a full track process in order to get the involvement of a change review board. So I'm going to leave this task here for now. Let's go to the actual change request. And here is the object in the system. If you go to the Browse button, we have a Changes choice that we have in here. And that way you can see the change requests that are in the system. And so right now it's set to change requests that are created by me, or you could change to one of the other different options, like taking a look at all the open change requests or the ones from the last 30 days. As I mentioned, a change request does not have to be created from a problem report. You can create a change request without having a problem report. Let's take a look at a couple ways of doing that. I'm going to use my recently accessed list. Let me go to a folder. I'm going to find an object in the folder over here. Let's select this object. From an object's information page, you can go to the actions drop-down list and then choose new, and then here we have new change request. And the nice thing about doing it from the object's information page is that if you go to, requiring something in here, let me just put in CR. And let's go to the affected objects. You'll notice that by starting it from an object's information page, it'll have that object listed in the affected objects. Let me cancel from out of here. You also can create a change request from a folder. Here I'm just in a folder for some objects. I can go to the Actions menu over here and then choose New, and from this menu I can choose New Change Request. And that'll bring up the form over here for creating the change request. But in this particular situation, there's absolutely nothing filled in over here. Again, let me just fill it in required information. And then if I go to select affected objects, there's nothing in here. Then you can use this field to start typing in numbers, and this field for typing in names of objects to add them inside of here. Now, I'll actually filter down what's available as you start typing. So you can see that it's performing a search, and then you can scroll through the list, and as I start typing in other different numbers, the list is going to narrow down until you can locate the particular object that you want to put in here. But anyhow, the other way that you can do is you can use the plus sign in order to add more objects in here. Let me choose the plus sign. If you do that, it's going to bring up a form that allow you to search particular contexts and search by name and number for the objects that you want to add into the change request. So just to clarify, you can create a change request from a problem report, you can create it from an object's information page, and you can also create it from a folder. I hope you enjoyed this video. For more information, please visit www.creowindchill.com. If you learned something from this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like this video, please click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be informed when new videos are uploaded. Thank you very much.